So this, you'll have to trust me, is Psychonauts 2. For most people, their experience between the first game and the second was about 16 years apart, because that's how long it took for the second game to come out. For me, I just played the first game for the first time last week, so it is very fresh in my mind. An example of mind can be seen on screen right now. If I'm not mistaken, for the characters, it's been an even shorter period of time than it has been for me. The first game ended on a very obvious sequel hook. Although there was like a VR game that this is a sequel to directly, I don't know anything about the VR game, or if it is actually relevant. I don't know much of anything about Psychonauts 2, but I know a fair amount about Psychonauts 1, thanks to having recently played it. It's fantastic. Let's find out what Psychonauts 2 is all about. Or at least I will. Most people also found out about this well over a year ago. And they're still making me wait through multiple loading screens. Love these modern consoles. At least on the PS2, when you hit new game, you were playing the game already. Ah, well.
Three days ago, Truman Zanotto, the grand head of the Psychonauts, was kidnapped. Yesterday, with my help, the Psychonauts rescued Truman from the underwater lair of Dr. Loboto. But trust me, there's no way Loboto is working alone. Today, we're on a mission. Find out who hired Dr. Loboto to kidnap Truman Zanotto. My name is Raz, and today is my first official day on the job.
Richard Horvitz sounds much older than he did in the first Psychonauts. His adventure rescuing the head of the Psychonauts really left him worse for wear. He's far more ragged in his 3 days on the job.
Oh, hey Lily. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I've dreamed about working at Psychonauts headquarters all my life. I just thought it would be more, you know?
Come on, we're going to be late for the morale corral.
They don't even let us wear his cool goggles. His iconic goggles.
And that's how we managed to raise profits, the 900% this quarter. That's right. Thank you.
Is that Mr. Pokelope?
Brings us to our next topic.
This is already a good game if that's Mr. Pokelope.
Mori.
Sorry, I just like the clapping.
It's now time to give out the award for Employee of the Year. The prize for this year's award is an all-expenses-paid tropical vacation.
Ooh!
Oh, I hope it's me.
The winner of this award may be one of our newest members, but he's also one of our most improved. Congratulations to Caligosto Loboto.
What? Way to go, Cal. You're gonna love this vacation package. I'm jealous.
I've never won anything. Oh, been on a vacation. I don't have to go on a boat, do I?
No, darling.
Woo!
All you need to do is get this vacation request approved by your supervisor.
What?
Just a formality. You just need to get this form signed by your boss.
My boss?
Yes, darling. Or you could just tell us who your boss is and we could...
No.
Maybe he doesn't want this tropical vacation after all.
Get back! I want it! I'm Employee of the Year!
Yes, you are, darling. Now off you go. Get that form signed by your boss.
The person who hired you.
The person you work for.
Okay.
Hurry up, before I take that vacation myself.
Rasputin?
I'm on him.
Hell yeah,
Up
goggles.
with him, Raz, and he'll lead you straight to his boss.
Now we got a game on our hands. A slow-moving game. This is the fastest I can move right now. We're taking this stealth mission very seriously.
We'll try to head him off.
Be careful, darling.
But here we go.
Stay close to him, Raz.
But don't freak him out.
We gotta track the dentist.
Never to
Pretty sure I can
act
handle it.
casual.
I am acting casual.
What's that?
I said, I love Casual Friday. Am I right? Attention. The tooth is loose.
Don't lose him, Raz.
Okay. I'm on his case.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
I think he suspects something. He's taking countermeasures.
Just remember your basic training, soldier.
Right.
Ah. Unlock the ability to punch
Are you following me?
in tutorial form. I don't think there's any way we can actually screw up this stealth mission.
This was all a trick. I'm not Employee of the Year. I'm the greatest dentist of our century.
All agents, the tooth has gone bad. Repeat, the tooth has gone bad.
Maintain pursuit, Rasputin.
We are in position to intercept.
Roger.
The game also tricked me into thinking I was on a more important task than I actually was.
Looking for me?
All I had to do was
Well,
obey the
come and
on-screen
get
prompts.
me. Why are you taking so long?
I'm serpentining to test out the analog stick.
You think you understand the gravity of the situation you're in?
That would have worked better if we hadn't dropped a few frames there. Ah,
Watch out! Hey, you're not supposed to walk that way.
Posters.
I have to climb this side of this building. It's actually in 2D. I can't, like, move forward in any meaningful way. Ah, wall jumps. See, I'm legitimately not reading the
No time
tooltips.
for small talk, soldier. The enemy is on
Probably
the move,
should be.
But we've got him cornered. This way. Quick.
The sheer amount of dialogue renders this game streaming resistant, but
Now,
we'll make it
before
work
the
regardless.
procedure, It's very important that we clean out your dentist's hut. You don't want any dirty throwaways.
There we go. Matrix dodge. They didn't go for the actual Matrix parody, though. I would have not faulted
Soldier,
them.
I've been bit. Get this giant tooth off of me.
You got it, boss.
I can't lift that tooth.
You don't got it, boss.
We just need to make some sort of ladder or stairs out of here.
There we go.
Finally.
Pull that tooth. Put it back where it
Good
belongs.
job following orders, Private. You go on ahead. I'll take up the rear guard.
Perfect.
Lots
Now
of
we're the
figments
best
of Lobato's
dentist.
Imagination in here.
Oh boy,
See a
figments.
figment. Suck it up, soldier.
The new graphical style is disturbing to me. Gotta admit, I really like the PS2 limitations. And how they force it to be even more stylized than this.
I thought the big tooth was upsetting. Well, let's soldier through, Private. Unzip that dental door. Good job, soldier.
What's that light?
Uh-oh. Zip it back up again! Zip it!
There. Now that your cap is clean, let's check out those choppers. If I didn't know better, I'd swear this place had gremlins. No problem. I'm sure I can do this in the dark.
Lobato really is a good dentist, giving himself a dental exam.
This room is definitely not in Sasha's plan. In fact, I think it's a trap.
No.
That's just a sensor. Everybody has those. You live in your mind and stamp out things that don't belong.
Like us?
You handle this one. I'll find a way out.
Censorship also persists. All these years later.
Gotta dodge those attacks if you want to keep your astral protection in the battle.
Lost some HP.
Get the dodge, boys!
But we have plenty. I'll just tank the hits. Killed enemies tend to drop health refills anyway. Glad we start with telekinesis at least. Let's see how deadly our moves are. Okay, they changed it so you can move while you're telekinesising. Controls a bit more like PsyOps, the Mindgate conspiracy. PsyOps was way ahead of its time. Controls in that game are fantastic.
With the dental door here. Ugh. I can't even look at it.
A lot of people are extremely disturbed by dental stuff. Body horror involving teeth. What about emotional baggage?
Duffel bag tag.
Some people are more disturbed by sad bags. And figments.
Yes, got the duffel bag tag.
Seeing too many collectibles can make anyone's skin crawl.
Yep.
Now this is our wall jumps. Fantastic new addition to our arsenal. And a memory vault. Don't mind if I do, those are like the best part of the first game. Give it here. I scared it out of the office.
Hey, that's one of Dr. Lobato's vaults. I should try to catch it. Could be high-value intel inside.
How are we ever going to catch it, Raz? It's going to take a real brilliant tactic. We got it. Oh, multiple hits. They gave him an HP bar. Of sorts. So, he was reading a comic book about dentistry. One-track mind. He's got Mr. Pokelope still. Made millions of dollars, I guess. He and Mr. Pokelope hatched a plan. And set off with some fish in human bodies that played poker with him. Okay. Perhaps this will make more sense as we continue to explore Lobato's brain. I'm starting to doubt it. Spoonbenders was something of a slur in the first game. Typically referred to inexperienced psychics. So Oleander used to insult Raz. Oh, Crawler did it even more. I wonder if Crawler's in this game. I mean, it's only been 3 days, so stands to reason he would be. However, he is stuck underneath the camp. because of his reliance on some weird psychic ore that is underneath the camp that he has to be close to or else he loses his mind. Spoilers for a 16-year-old game. There we go. The bag is happy. The photocopier is free. No jokes about landing our face on it or anything. Or our big, giant psychic hand.
Coach, is this normal? Do Sasha's mental scenarios usually break down like this?
Never. There's something screwy going on in this brain. The sooner we get out of it, the better.
Why are we still calling Oleander Coach? He never really was our coach.
Okay, see what you can find that way. See you on the other side.
He spent most of the first game being a villain. And he clearly is not behaving like a coach now. Commander would be more appropriate.
Looks like some sort of conference room in here.
Rasputin, is that you? I need...
I'm coming, Sasha.
Sasha, I mean, they always talk about how competent he is. And everything he does in the first game and in this game
Careful, it's a...
goes horrifically awry.
Here's the hatbox tag.
Fails utterly.
Someone is helping him. He couldn't...
So Sasha comes across as
couldn't
being
do this
a
himself.
total screw-up.
Hey, open up.
Countermeasures too strong.
Gotta blast his mouth.
Thank you, Rasputin. Please, let's get clear of this
There.
aggressive uvula.
Annihilate the uvula. And it's onward.
Sasha, how is Lobato breaking through the office construct?
He couldn't be doing this on his own. He must be getting help from someone even more... sinister.
Smoking in a T-rated game. In 2021. Scandalous. There wasn't even smoking in the original game. Not to my recollection, anyway. It wouldn't have stuck out as much
Moving forward.
if there had been.
Sasha!
I've got the situation under control. Just find us a way out of here, quickly.
Yeah, don't bother with them little mooks. You want to go for the gold. You gotta grab the big boys. Help me carry this one, will you, Frankie?
Oh,
Come on, Frankie, put
It's
a little
gameplay
muscle
again.
into it.
it's so seamless. Can't even tell when I'm playing the game or when the game is playing me. It's like Silent Hill Shattered Memories in here.
Hey, Tooth Fairies, drop that tooth. It's not yours, and I need to jump on it.
I can't
There.
believe it. They
Snipe
got
him.
me too, Frankie. The mooks.
Sniping too fast. Missing dialogue. By being too good at the tutorial. Certainly wasn't too good at the tutorial of the first game. Oof. I also didn't come into any issue where the controllers simply didn't work properly. God, first input of the first game was to turn the camera to the left. And I literally couldn't because my controller was assigned improperly.
Did you even brush before you came in here today? Honestly, it's a mess in there. Here, rinse and spit. Get out everything that doesn't belong.
Wait, that was his uvula we just blasted?
Not back in the trap.
So shouldn't he have actually, like, experienced pain?
Coach, where'd he go?
At least mental pain?
Well, that's a good sign.
What is it?
That is a regret. If Lobato has regrets, then maybe there's a way we can still get to him. Let's get out of here and find Lobato.
Sasha? Are regrets dangerous?
Oh, yes, extremely. Take care of that one, will you, while I find an exit.
Okay, regrets are new. Hence why Raz didn't recognize their deal or what to do about them. Our Psychic Blast seems to pretty much auto-lock on. Yeah, I'm not doing anything to aim. And the lock-on button from the first game doesn't do anything. At least not yet. Presumably it will do something as we gain additional abilities. I keep killing these regrets? Probably. There, yeah. As long as the regret is, like, relatively in front of me. Raz gets him.
I can't find a way out of here anywhere.
Sasha? How long has that golden door been there?
Golden what?
Did somebody say gold? Frankie, here's our chance for revenge!
Oh, not these guys.
I'll keep looking.
Hey, exactly the same issue again.
Watch out! They're shooting us out again! I'm coming to see you, Ma!
Rasputin, you see what you can find through that door. I'm going to stay here and attempt to repair my construct.
Hey, in the original game, entering doors is what caused levels to begin properly. But it seems like we're actually in the level already, so... guess these gold doors do something different. Merely advance us further into the level we're already in. But I think breaking the water cooler gets me more mental health. There's one thing I need, it's mental health care. Saying a mouthful there, which is appropriate, given the dentistry theme. I've already explored this room. Yep, nothing new here. It's all about getting this golden door opened. So I have done.
This is not getting any better.
Raz! Is that you? Come down here!
Lily, I'm coming!
What was Lily's emergency? She seemed to be in on this plan. Perhaps even a key member in its execution. But the plan has gone horribly awry.
Uh-oh, slippery.
Hurry up, Raz!
Here I come!
The debris around me seems to be able to deal damage, but it doesn't matter, because we're out of there very quickly. Water is deadly. Do not touch it.
Water phobia, huh?
It's not a phobia, it's a curse. Back in Grulovia, my whole family was cursed to die in water, and...
Yeah, super sad. Look at these posters! I think someone else planted these in Lobato's mind to intimidate him.
And make sure he didn't tell us who hired him to kidnap your dad.
Let's get rid of them. Maybe it'll help. Help me burn these posters, Raz.
Destroy propaganda. Till only the truth remains. Hold L1. Charge pyrokinesis. And then... nothing happens. How do I do this? Okay.
Ooh, looks like you found an even bigger room.
I'm gonna catch up to Lobato.
Okay, I'll catch up after I make sure these posters are all burnt. Think this is helping? It's helping me.
I'm on poster burning duty.
Ah, fire! It hurts. Help!
Take that.
Lily?
Up. She's back. Can't get rid of her for long.
Burn them all!
Jeez, this game's sugar plumps. Anyone who gets that reference. is me. And even I barely get it, so...
Even though they're not real.
I think that's all the propaganda we can reach. Oh, there we go. We can set the orb higher.
Keep going, Raz!
That sounds like the kind of encouragement that I need. Let's keep on burning. Here to the Andy Warhol parody. It's Love Warhol. There, we can jump. Get the orb a little higher. Take out that one, and there better be an achievement for burning all these, since the first one that I burned ended up being the solution. There. Cleaned them all out. At least the dentist can't influence anyone else. Oh, there's so many more. Never mind.
Listen, back in the rhombus ruin, you and I had a moment, am I right?
We're not here to hurt you. We just want to know who hired you to kidnap Truman Zanotto.
Why can't you just let it go? All's well that ends well, right?
It's kind of weird that Lobato ended up being the one to kidnap Truman Zanotto, is his name, I guess.
Sounds like there's some...
There it is. The, Even Raz is sick of collectibles at this point. It's been half an hour. But it's the second game. Second adventure he's been on.
Yep.
Poor guy has seen a lot of collectibles. There's another one. I believe that was another person smoking. See him in the corner there. Severe tobacco usage in this game. But also, equivalent recommendations to brush your teeth. Maybe that cancels it all out.
Protecting.
Myself.
Admittedly, I'm not all that interested in Lobato's story. So of all the people they could have focused on here in the beginning of the game, basically anyone else would have been a better hook for me, at least. Typically, burning him is the solution.
I take it back if I could. Was that you screaming? Or me? Doesn't matter. Listen, we all have our doubts and regrets. But it's too late to turn back now, understand? What we have to do now is finish the extraction.
Shouldn't he just be using his pepper grinder arm?
Lily, I think Lobato is starting to have doubts.
Duh, they're right over there. Luckily, they're highly flammable. You take care of them while I find a way out, okay?
Lily seems to dislike us. She's constantly, like, sarcastic. Just generally unhappy to see us. Considering she's supposed to be our girlfriend.
Keep it up, Raz.
Doesn't really suggest a healthy relationship. Brain candy. Stores mental energy. Ah. So we can keep these in the back pocket to heal up whenever we want to.
Really slow you down.
Could be useful.
Try burning them. That's what I would do.
I often died from long, like, lengthy periods where I couldn't heal myself in the first game.
Nice one, Raz.
Is that the last of the doubts? I don't see anyone. Anyone want to bother me?
Try burning them. That's what I would do.
Burn who? What am I missing here? Could burn this picture. Or not. Yep, can't burn that one. Gotta be some doubts around here somewhere.
Why haven't you beat those guys yet?
Honestly, I'm not sure myself. Surely there's a reason, though. There's some baggage, probably back here.
That's what I would do.
Psychonauts. That's the stuff that Lord Cruller can't get very far away from. Looks like it is currency for upgrades. It's the same old spot that I keep wandering into where I found the vault long ago. Who else wants some? And why are they not as aggressive as all the other ones were?
Watch out, Raz. Doubts can really slow you down.
Tell me about it. And nothing over here. It's just downright odd. Is this something? Titanium, sure. I keep trying to summon the levitation ball, but I don't think I have that ability yet. If I could, it would speed things up.
I can't find a way out of this dump. Try burning them. That's what I would do.
I burned everything, Lily. There's nothing left to burn. Fire isn't the solution. For everything. Unfortunately. There's clearly a way past where this photo frame is. But it won't burn. Titanium. Never know when I'll need that. But it certainly ain't now. Let's see.
Try burning them. That's what I would do.
Anything? Anyone? And no one to kill. All the previous segments like this, killing everything was the solution, but everything's dead. Let's eat this candy. That's not allowing me to eat the candy. Let's... I might want to return to title. I don't know why I'm soft-locked here. Possibly... bit of a glitch. But I can hear something. There you go. Why was this thing non-aggressive?
Hey, Raz. Doesn't this painting look familiar?
Get away from me, you scary little girl!
Think we should burn it?
Oh, you haven't changed, have you?
Come on. Just tell us who hired you to kidnap my dad.
Oh, this is really personal for you, isn't it?
You better believe it is.
Well, I'm sorry if you were offended.
That does it. I'm burning this guy.
Wait. I'll tell you.
Yes?
That's sincere apology.
Hired me.
Yes?
Was no one. No one hired me because I didn't do anything.
Oh, brother.
Not on purpose, at least. It was an accident.
You've got to be kidding me.
Your father got lost and ended up in the rhombus of ruin on accident. And I was just trying to help him rest while we waited for you to come save him.
Nice try.
I don't even care anymore. Do your worst.
That's right. Rhombus of Ruin is the VR game.
Oh, no, you don't.
I think I just did.
Mia?
Yes, darling?
Nothing.
Ooh, we're gonna learn levitation.
Did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
No. Your thoughts can lift you up if you focus.
Better hurry before we hit the ground.
It doesn't look like Mia's gonna hit the ground anytime soon. She's a levitation expert.
There you go. Woo-hoo. Now let's get out of here. Loboto needs our help.
Yes. Wait, help Lobato.
Someone really did a number on that poor thing. I think he wants to tell us who hired him, but he's terrified. Let's find him and help him.
Alright. Looks like we don't have the levitation ball. Just this levitation balloon now. Maybe. The levitation ball was ridiculously powerful, but also kind of busted and awkward. A lot of the platforming ended up being very precise, and the levitation ball just sort of flung you in all sorts of absurd directions. I found it pretty hard to control. I would not lament its absence. That I will lament.
Yep.
It's more like it. God, wind jets. Oh, not only do they give you added height, they make your hot air balloon basically infinite. Or at least last a much longer period of time. Sure, there's some way to get over there. To the collectible. I don't know, call it a hunch. And there's two collectibles even. Or for this one. Clearly I can make it.
Got the first tag. Yep.
I have seen speedruns of the first game. I haven't seen any... Actually, I have seen part of a speedrun of this game. I found it hard to follow and less interesting than the first game. But that is the case with a lot of, like, speedruns. Compared to casual playthroughs. Speedrun very frequently does not indicate how cool a game's casual run can be. A lot of great speedruns have terrible casual playthroughs. Hell, Darkened Sky has a good speedrun. And that game's miserable. I love it, but it's miserable.
Hurry up, darling. We need to keep moving.
Levitation always slows the pace of this game down. Even more so now that we only have the hot air balloon move. At least with the levitation
Mia,
ball,
the mission is falling
it
apart.
sped up our
We've
movement
lost
speed
control of
considerably.
Lobato.
There's a little chaos on every mission, Raz. A Psychonaut
have that
must
anymore.
always remember how to roll with it.
Or maybe we will have it
how
now.
to gather your thoughts and roll with them, right?
All right. There it is. Look at how fast we can move. And... okay, it doesn't launch us as ridiculously far.
Yep.
It, like, quadrupled your jump height in the first game.
Oh. Oops.
Okay, I got stuck out of bounds, weirdly. So it's still plenty awkward with the geometry and stuff. Legitimately, that's a relief. Wouldn't be Psychonauts.
Yep.
That awkward geometry that barely, if at all, works. Still don't quite know how to get that tag, but there are, like, these dots leading up to the platform where I'm on now. So if I got over to that tag, there would probably be some tutorial on how to use those dots to traverse things. Rotation ball stops us from getting electrocuted. That came into play exactly one time in the entirety of the first game. And I didn't use it in that one instance. I brute forced that segment.
This is not my kind of party! Ah!
Mia? Mia, I'm coming!
He is apparently in danger. He didn't sound too terrified, to say the least. But she typically has things under control. I mean, she's seen worse.
Where are you? Sasha, I can't reach Mia. I think she's been dementistrated. Sasha? Coach! Suitcase tag. Gotcha.
Raz has his priorities straight. Sasha, Coach, suitcase tag. The only people he can trust. Yeah, Mia has stayed up late nights, remembering the screams of dying children from the orphanage she worked at and failed to save as it burned to the ground. I'm not getting any indication on how to use these dots. But it's none of the things I'm trying. Oh well. Probably don't need them. I'm going too fast. The levitation ball tends to make me make a lot of mistakes. Too much power. Uh-oh. Thank God for these braces.
What was I supposed to do again?
Alright. That's clearly a part of this game.
I've got to stop him.
Installing Final Fantasy XIV. I've never even played Final Fantasy XIV, but still got to keep it up to date. Legitimately no idea what it's installing, but whatever. I am almost out of HP. I don't know why I got that trophy / achievement. This game was developed via funding from like Xbox Game Studios. So even starting up this game on the PS4 as I have done right now, you get an Xbox Game Studios logo. Which is strange to see on a PlayStation console. But I'm not complaining. I have no brand loyalty.
I put the roll right in the box and the basket in the cake.
I know this stairway from the end of the first game. Oh, that was, Shelob? It's not Shelob. Shigor. And Mr. Pokeloop.
No, that's not it.
All our favorite characters.
I put the egg in
who had the smallest roles in the first game. But it was closest to the end of the game, so they're the freshest in my mind, and therefore the fondest.
The old box in the basket, and the egg in the ocean.
You put the egg in the basket, and the old egg in the box, and the box in the ocean.
Simple.
And if you tell anyone about me, anyone at all, you'll have to deal with her.
No, not her. Please don't make me look at her again. No, no. I won't tell. I won't tell anyone. I promise. No, please.
Couldn't save Dr. Lobato in time for the game to not become a horror game. The first game got pretty horrifying in segments. That's the thing about Psychonauts. They can do literally any genre they want. And they can do it well. They can also do it extremely poorly, as was the case with the Meat Circus. You get all levels of quality and all genres in your Psychonauts experience. For the most part, though, the first game was fantastic. The second game has a good reputation. Admittedly, this tutorial has been so hand-holdy, I have absolutely no idea what to expect so far, but...
No, not her. I won't tell.
hoping for the best.
That bozo's brain was booby-trapped.
Yes, whoever hired Lobato to kidnap Truman knew he might be psychically interrogated.
The poor thing looks terrified.
Did anyone get a good look at his boss?
I saw him, but I couldn't tell who he was. And I saw something else. I saw the thing that terrified Lobato. It was a woman, dressed in black fur. She was floating over the ruins of a city, and she was commanding serpents of water. There was something familiar about her.
Rasputin, I'm going to show you a picture.
That's her! Wait a second.
That silhouette is definitely not enough
True
information.
Psychic Tales issue 43. She's on the cover.
Maligula.
The Deluge of Grulovia.
Maligula? She's been dead for 20 years!
Fort Crawler killed her himself!
A battle from which he never truly recovered.
She was a monster, a ruthless, power-hungry psychic who drowned hundreds of her own countrymen. Nevertheless, she still has her loyal followers to this day. This file documents recent activity believed to be the work of these modern-day delusionaries.
What are they up to?
Well, it's ridiculous, really. There's no scientific basis to
You could say they're delusional.
necromancy.
What?
They're trying to bring her back to life?
It's silly, darling, but if they believe they can do it, they might do some dangerous things.
Mia, have you considered the other disturbing fact in all of this? That unstable character.
Could never kidnap the grand head
Get
of the
lost!
Psychonauts without help? Yes.
You mean...
There's a mole in the Psychonauts.
You think this is a mole? You're dumber than you look.
Approaching the mother lobe.
I'm guessing Oleander turned on us again. It's easy enough to make him the villain. He already was once. I'd like to think Sasha is betraying us, though. Because I hate that guy. Paints himself as this ruthlessly efficient, absolute expert. And all he ever does is fail. I want to defeat him in the end of this game. Please make my dreams come true, Psychonauts 2.
Agent Forsyth, why did you deny us intel when we hailed the Mother Lobe?
What are you talking about, Agent 9?
We were on a mission to rescue the Grand Head of the Psychonauts. When we called for assistance...
I never heard any call. Who did you talk to? Is he all right?
We won't know for sure until we get that squirrel tested for rabies.
This is our kidnapper.
Clearly, he had help on the inside.
Impossible. A mole in the Psychonauts?
We have reason to believe delusionists are involved. And they're trying to bring back Malicula.
What?
I know. Isn't it great? The Psychonauts haven't had this kind of a threat in years.
Can someone help me with my dad? He's still acting funny.
Truman!
I was wondering who that bearded guy was.
So we can lie down.
I'll see what I can find out in my...
Disturbingly, I kind of thought it was Raz's
Taking
dad.
Roboto to my office for further interrogation.
Just because Raz's dad was the only guy with such a pronounced beard in the first game.
Does that make anyone else a little nervous?
Who are you?
I'm Raz. Rasputin? I'm, your newest Psychonaut?
How's that?
Ford Cruller, he gave me a badge. I've been kinda helping out.
Listen, kid. Agent Cruller is a hero. But he's not operating at 100%. He can hand out all the merit badges he wants, but he doesn't have the authority to commission Psychonauts.
But you can, right? You're Hollis Forsyth, lesser head of the Psychonauts? True Psychic Tales 146. You and Truman fought the Noodler together.
I prefer the title Second Head. If the other agents vouch for you, I might be able to get you a spot.
Sasha is definitely the one who declared
In
us
the
as
intern
Psychonaut.
program. But don't be late for orientation. I hear the coordinator's a real brain buster.
But for some reason,
Welcome
Raz
to
just
the
won't
Mother.
drop that name. It's like Raz wants to fail.
Yep. Yeah.
And fail he has. But he's failing upward into the Psychonauts. So I guess that's the equivalent of, like, your Metroidvania starting fresh. They gotta have us strive towards some goal. So even though in the first game we officially became a Psychonaut, we are now officially no longer a Psychonaut.
Scanning for fingerprint. Access denied.
Hey, how does this thing work?
Sorry, no tours today.
No tours required. This is my job. I was at the office like an hour ago, planning this whole thing that led to what was going on. Like, I'm in the computer as a Psychonaut. I was literally doing Psychonaut work. This is an insult. I demand to speak to your manager. Get out of there.
Hey, is it okay if I go up into the main headquarters now?
I'm sorry, little boy, but there just aren't any school tours today.
What? I'm an intern. Agent Forsyth gave me this.
Really? Let's check your head in the fingerprint reader, please. Well, I'll be doused. Welcome to the intern program. Let me get you your orientation materials.
Okay. I'm legitimately unimpressed with this turn of events, where we've been downgraded to an intern. Like, the first thing he said is that it's his first day on the job as a Psychonaut. Ah, well. Now we're working our way back up. Classic. Story of my life. One step forward, then you fail one conversation tree during a cutscene. Right back at the very beginning. Slightly higher than the very beginning, at least, but...
Wow.
Oh well.
That picture really captures my startled side.
I've taken worse license photos, that's for sure. And at least we got to wear our goggles. Now we have to wear our goggles anytime we drive. Aquato is his last name. That seems ironic, given the fact that water is going to kill him someday. Psi powers.
Ooh, looks like I can choose where to focus my energy and upgrade my powers. Very
nice.
Interesting.
I agree, Raz. That does seem pretty interesting. Downgrade. He said very interesting. I don't have any intern credit, because I became an intern seconds ago. And area survey.
Keep track of all the places I've been here.
Is this like the Night in the Woods journal where we like do adorable punk rock drawings? I hope so. And the mission
I'll keep my
log.
to-do list here.
Report to the classroom. Sounds like a plan. Raz, as focused and aspirational as he is on his goal to become a Psychonaut, he really keeps track of steps and goals and all that important stuff. Gotta hate these business-minded kids.
Scanning for fingerprint. Access granted.
You better believe it. And another very long loading screen, I bet. Disturbing how bad these load times are. The increase in the graphical fidelity is not worth it, if you ask me. And honestly, I thought the first game looked better. There's a bit of uncanny valleyness to the quote-unquote improved graphical style, when it was much more extremely stylized in the first game. I thought that was better. I thought it aged really, really well. Like I said, I just played this game for the first time last week, and it was gorgeous. This game also gorgeous, but the stylization is notably less severe. And I kind of miss it. Like, if there isn't someone who's as hideous as Frankie, I'm gonna be upset. I want someone whose eyes are exactly parallel with their
I
mouth.
can't believe I'm really here. Psychonauts headquarters.
Look at the proportions on these guys' heads. Their eyes are above their noses.
Sorry, new ball.
This is not my kind of Psychonauts. But I'm severely nitpicking. Just because this guy looks like both Bert and Ernie at the same time doesn't mean this is a bad game. Or that indeed anything is wrong right now. But I did, subjectively, like a lot of the things about the first game better than what I'm seeing so far.
Busy crafting the future of psychotechnology in my lab right now. This automatic has all the psychic supplies and enhancements you need.
So, here is our Ford Crawler equivalent, I guess.
Many new items in stock.
And here's our shop.
Have a look around.
Items it is. Can't believe there's this many pop-ups to tell us how to buy items.
Great idea. Let's make a side challenge marker and get you ranked up.
I don't think I have enough challenge cards for a side challenge marker. Unless it's 1 card per marker. Oh, it's still 9 cards. But apparently I just acquired 9 cards. Somehow. Otto has donated 9 of his own cards to me, so that I could experience the joy of ranking up. glorious. Pins, you say? I can appreciate a good pin. We can spruce up the levitation ball. I turned it pink in the first game. Not an option here. Not yet, anyway. Blue is underwhelming. So, green. Process of elimination.
Oh, that's the hot stuff right there.
We got a green fan. Automatic. Appreciates a nice green levitation ball. I don't think his name is Automatic. He is the proprietor of the Automatic, where we are shopping right now. We're one Psytanium away from getting, like, another core, I think. Yeah. Nothing much I can do about that besides go around the office and break everything until I get one more Psytanium. Ooh. We can get a goat pin for our telekinesis to pet furry forest friends. That seems like a worthy goal to strive towards. Just so long as we don't end up like the men who stare at goats. So the reason they did that was to kill them.
So much cool stuff in there. I'll come back later for the rest of it.
Hey, kid. You didn't take the toilet plunger, did ya? Hey, kid. You didn't take the toilet plunger, did ya?
Quit asking, you creep. Oh, I found a Psytanium load.
Don't be a Psy-bore. Get yourself a Psy-core.
I'm not going to take that advice. I'm trying to save up. Get myself a goat pin. I mean, if I can leave here with a goat pin, my opinion of the game will be improved dramatically. And I'm damn close.
Consider buying a suit, kid.
Sorry, darn close. It's a T-rated game. Raz is only 10 years old. 10 years and 3 days now. They really should have made him like 14 or 15. He really does not act like a 10-year-old. Or look like a 10-year-old. But he says he's 10. He had to grow up young because of his daddy issues.
Wow. Here they are. The Psychic Six. The group of paranormal experts Ford Cruller gathered together to form the Psychonauts. I read all about them in True Psychic Tales #1. Tragically, none of them were the same after fighting Maligula in the deluge of Grulovia. Less tragically, but still upsetting, my mom used that issue of True Psychic Tales to line the floor of the world's smallest horse trailer.
And now he's acting more like a 10-year-old.
Excuse me, but do you know where intern orientation is?
Second floor, past the classroom.
Thanks.
If you passed the restrooms, you went the wrong way.
What, are we recruiting from kindergartens now?
You'd think she had pyrokinesis with how sick of that burn was.
Fluffs, get your dream fluffs right here at the Auto.
Shut up, you.
Welcome back.
And give me a pin. Yes, my dreams are coming true.
I'll admit, the main appeal of that one is looks.
I'll take it. The aesthetic joy of petting a goat was the one and only reason to spend all of our money. I have no regrets.
Sayonara, Psychic.
Yeah, I guess that was our pet the dog equivalent for this game. Just gotta find something to pet now.
Great.
Not allowed to throw the workers, but I can throw this bowl of fruit.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, I can't throw people around. Too respectful of the Psychonauts head office.
Fingerprint. Area not accessible by interns. Shouldn't you be in class?
They're probably gonna short me on my first paycheck too. After I worked a full day and engaged in a complicated plan that ended up failing miserably.
Sorry, Mr. He's with the medical team. And they said no visitors?
I'm not a visitor. I practically grew up in this building, Jared.
Look, I'm sure you'll be able to see him soon.
I want to see my father now.
I'll let you know as soon as you can.
Oh yeah, we could also call on nepotism because our girlfriend is the daughter of the head of all the Psychonauts.
Scanning for fingerprint. Access denied.
Raz is really bad at all this.
Look, Lily. It's that rat we found on the Rhombus of Ruin mission.
Don't act like you don't remember, Harold. We went through a lot together.
Ah, remember that rat. Reminds me of Minnie Moose from Invader Zim. I wonder why. Couldn't have anything to do with Richard Horvitz, that's for sure.
Oh, you look just like my nephew. The little...
Everyone hates Raz. This game is mean-spirited.
Hey, look out. Oh, sorry, I didn't... Whoa!
Ow! That's mean!
Did he hurt you, baby?
I'm not a baby.
Yeah, you are. Question is, who's this new kid?
My name is Raz, and I'm the new intern.
That's ridiculous. I didn't ask for a new intern.
Intern program's full. Sorry, kid.
He is clumsy. He'd probably get us all killed.
And he's mean.
Well, kid, we give it a fair shot, and it looks like it just didn't work out. Better luck next year.
Guys, quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot. I think he'll fit in just fine. In fact, I think he'll look cute in our uniform. Let's take him to the closet. Hey, you okay in there, Rusty? What's the holdup?
It's Raz. I was just wondering, if there's an intern uniform, how come you guys aren't wearing it?
Oh, well...
Last horse crosses the finish line.
Level 2.
Raz is getting
Now
hazed.
just hand out your clothes and we'll get you that uniform.
Can't you hand me the uniform first?
No, silly. We need to take your clothes and measure them so we can get you a uniform that fits.
Unless you want us to come in there and measure you.
No. Here you go. Just hurry up, okay? It's cold in here and I'm practically naked. Uh-oh. Guys? Oh, come on! This is embarrassing in so many ways.
You're not kidding. You should really know better, Raz. Well. He learned to trust people when he was at summer camp. Big mistake. Reach your full mental potential with Mind Swarm. Are we gonna get to summon bees? I'd be down for that. Let's keep ourselves warm by summoning fire. But really, we should end up with every single tonic plasmid from out of BioShock. Because that guy was a terrible psychic.
I don't have a key.
If we're not as good as him, we don't deserve to be a Psychonaut. That nameless protagonist from BioShock.
I don't have a key.
Can't break in. We gotta obey the rules. That was always my issue with the first Psychonauts. So they give you so many tools, and the solution to everything is do the one thing that they told you to do.
Key goes to that supply chest I found.
Or the one thing they wanted you to do, even. Rarely do they actually tell you what that thing was. And very frequently, there were many, many ways to come across a solution. But only one of them ever worked. I did frequently find that frustrating in the first game. Maybe this game will open it up a little bit. We can only hope. Looks like a lot of money. We can't wear money, Raz. That didn't help.
I don't know the code. Rats! Oh, sorry, Harold. You're absolutely right. I should think about how I'm using that word. What is it, Harold? Do you know the code? Is the code in there, Harold? I'm too big to go in there. If only I could see what you see in there. Hey, that reminds me.
Clairvoyance. Glorious. It also seems like Raz just, he dedicated himself to no longer using slurs. The first game had a lot of slurs in it. And they weren't mean-spirited, they were like realistic portrayals of like young kid speech, particularly in the early 2000s. But they were still slurs. They were pretty frequently throughout that first game.
Almost had it. I just need to focus on time to see the world as you see it, Harold.
You have to like charge your clairvoyance. You don't get to just tap the button. But it does still do the charming turn you into a cardboard cutout thing.
Ha! That's it, Harold.
0762. Pretty sure it was 0726. Let's double check. I gotta like invert my camera controls here. Love the cardboard cutout animation. Harold refuses to look at the password. So it's a good thing I remember it flawlessly. Oh, I don't have to type it in at all. Raz knows it. Fair enough. There was precisely one time where you had to input a password in the first game. And you did have to do it manually. Now to do some naked platforming. Like we're riding. In MGS2.
Oh no.
Off we go. This could only end well. I do like that camera angle. Very artistic. I don't know how we ended up here. Bit of a time skip. Humiliated ourselves in any number of ways, just off screen. Write your own fan fiction.
Got him, right where we want him, and yet we still can't extract the information we need.
Have you tried the corpus calloserator?
Of course, no effect.
Deep lobe trepanator?
It put him to sleep.
Look at this impenetrable wall here.
That was the first thing I tried. No use.
No way at all to get that psychic marker.
Why don't you just let me pop out that little brain of his and take it back to my workshop, where I could really,
Agent Mentalis, please. I have the situation under control. I just need a little more time. If I require more hardware, you'll be the first person I call.
Sasha, you have to let me do more. You know it's because of me that...
Otto.
I mean, if I hadn't...
Not a word, Rasputin, until I find you some new clothes. Sorry if the fit is a little off. They're the smallest clothes I had.
Now, tell us again how you ended up outside in your underwear.
Oh, you know, I was sort of going undercover.
Sasha was
Just like you
disturbingly
did,
ready
Agent
for
Alice in
us
True Psychic Tales
to be
number
hazed.
62, when you used your defibrillator to hypnotize 16 trans troopers at once.
Oh, please. That old yarn? Oh, they embellished so many details in that version. But in fact, it was 17 troopers. Well, love to chat, but I gotta make like a brain and bounce. If you're ever looking for just the right tool for the job, come see me in my workshop. Even the best psychonauts require a little assistance now and then.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Rasputin, I need to get back to the matter at hand.
No, I didn't bend the spoons, Mommy. Ooh, I love going through the car wash.
Oh, and don't worry about the other interns, Rasputin. Initiation rituals are a common method for a specialized social group to integrate foreign elements while preserving the social exclusivity of that group. Understand?
Thanks, Sasha.
Sasha supports hazing among the interns and still won't stick up for us,
Cooperate with our investigation.
even though he was fully on board with us becoming a Psychonaut at the end of the first game,
Scared, but if you could just tell me
and
who...
seemingly at the beginning of this game. Still gonna make us go through the intern program. What a dick.
Hey, this is just like the brain tumbler you had at camp.
Yeah? You might detect a slight burning odor. Nothing to worry about.
Fair enough.
So frustrating.
It is a pretty cool loner trench coat we've received. And a messenger bag? Why did he give us his messenger bag? I don't think we asked for that.
Maybe if I turn the...
Hey,
but I'll take it.
Thing?
Stay away from that, please. Everything is tuned to my precise head size and shape. I'm afraid a head like yours would damage the machine irreparably.
Wouldn't want to do that. Oh, here's how we get into this storage closet.
Aha! Got some intern credits.
Free instant rank up. And burn posters. Oh, we can't burn these posters. So much for consistency. Yep. They fireproofed them. Just in case Raz came along. So I guess we can't mess with the brain tumbler or Lobato.
Are you trying to remind...
Need any help, Sasha?
Yes, from him.
Me?
Roboto.
Help me find the answers I need.
It's Lobato.
This is all my fault.
Have any suspicions?
No, that's the frustrating thing. How could anyone in the Psychonauts do this? And how could they keep it a secret?
See, they like to give us these dialogue trees, but the correct answer is always to just go with the first option until you've exhausted it.
Maybe he just hatched this scheme on his own?
He has no motivation.
Oh, hello, Dad.
Someone hired him, and, given his access to Truman, someone on the inside.
So about Maligula.
She's dead, Rasputin. Ford Cruller made sure of that. Nothing for you to worry about.
If they wrote so many comic books about her, and Rasputin's the ultimate nerd for the Psychonauts comic books, shouldn't he be well-versed in Maligula? But alas, I'm pointing out plot holes.
At least we made it out of the rhombus of ruin.
You performed well in the field, Rasputin. I'll make sure Agent Forsyth finds out all about it in my report. Just as soon as I'm done here.
Okay, so he's going to vouch for us after we complete the entire game. Presumably.
Why do you think he won't cooperate? He seemed to have such a big change of heart back in the rhombus.
Someone has conditioned him, hypnotically, to be unable to tell us, even if he wanted to. But who?
I'll let you get back to the interrogation. Sorry I can't help.
You've done a lot, Rasputin. Thank you.
That was useless to me.
What am I missing?
Clearly it was meant to be.
Well, this has been fun, but it's getting late, and I should probably go.
Should I go? Apparently so. Off we go.
Almost had it. I just need to focus a little longer with my clairvoyance.
There we go. Perfectly incognito, as far as this guy's concerned. Can I read your mind? Glorious. What do I want to do? Father Oleander? No can do. Seems like they want me to clairvoyance-ize this guy, but it didn't do anything.
That was a dirty trick you pulled. I want my clothes back.
You know, you're right. I'm sorry. And I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to let you finish my asset recovery mission.
Why do I feel like I'm gonna end up naked in a closet again?
My intern assignment is to track down this list of missing Psychonaut assets. Mission critical assets.
So, like a scavenger hunt?
If you think like a child, you will do a child's work. Finish this mission, and we'll know you're ready for your clothes back.
Earn your clothes. Sounds like a worthy goal.
This looks like a good place to track my side missions.
Aha, the scavenger hunt is back. I like the scavenger hunt in the first game. They're already going to tell us what all the items are and what their story is. We just can't see them yet. Not until we pick them up. Ooh, a human skull we need this time. There's a miner skull in the first game. We have every reason to believe the miner was a human. They're just making it more clear this time.
Third favorite fish.
Oh, here's another one of our bullies.
Hey, you should see a doctor. You're looking tippy.
At least there were a few characters in the first game who weren't bullies.
Look lively.
So far, 100% bullies in this game.
I have this weird urge to go shopping.
We have a cap. We got, like, Legend of Zelda wallet puzzles. Presumably. Pretty sure there were things that cost more than $100. So I guess we're gonna have to upgrade our
Really
maximum
late to internal
cash
application
carrying.
now. I better get to the class right away.
Can't believe. Still haven't found where this class is. Is it?
Scanning for fingerprint.
Open up! I need some fresh air! What am I? A prisoner?
No, you're an intern.
What's the difference?
You're getting school credit.
Oh, we literally cannot leave.
Experts agree.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Clairvoyance.
Because I'm the one who has to
Without
clean up
my
all the wheel
special
marks.
clairvoyance
It's a
enhancing
lead board,
pins.
no wheels.
Oh, you're gonna rub that in now? You kids think you're better than us just because you can do psychic stuff.
What? No.
You think I like pushing them up with my hands?
No,
If I could blink and make all the wheel marks go away, then I'd say go ahead. Clean the cubes or whatever.
There's no marks.
Let's see if this skater hates us.
Everything okay here?
Should be, because skateboarding is not a psychic crime.
And I'm not arresting you. I'm just saying take it outside.
Fine.
Well, okay then. Happy I could help.
She can go outside. But we're locked indoors for the rest of our lives. Until we beat the game.
Wow! A bowling alley? A psychic bowling alley? Amazing! Doesn't look open though.
Imagine we're gonna have to like roll our own psychic levitation ball down a bowling alley at some point to get a strike.
Wow! The Psychonauts have their own hair salon? Would it be weird if I asked for the Sasha 9?
You already have the Sasha 9. I hate that haircut. But like, Sweater Raz looks exactly like a young, short, squat Sasha 9. Kind of annoys me, actually. But that was true in the first game. That's not me blaming the second game for anything.
My side pouch is full.
Let's start spending money. To get... This thing costs $100. Oh, this looks like a discount. Yeah. But it costs more money than we're able to hold to get a discount. We can make our Psy Blasts not do lethal damage. That sounds like a valuable upgrade right there.
Careful how you use that one, Sonny.
There. We learned how to dance. Feels better, to me at least. Cores. I don't have any cores. This is where we buy cores. I'll take some cores.
Challenge marker and get you ranked up.
I don't think I need any more gadgets right now.
Good, because I would never trust one to someone so young, of course.
There's a card inside the haircut place, but I'm not allowed in yet. Is this where I'm supposed to be?
So, what's good today?
Why do I bother making signs?
No first-person view, it seems. Tragic. I never used it in the first game. So I lose it. Oh, that hamburger was full of titanium. That can't be healthy.
Probably just saved a life taking this off the market.
Aha! Part of our scavenger hunt was to get disgusting rotten sushi. I think so anyway, let's see. Can I find... No, that ain't it. Settings obviously is not it. I open my menu.
I just need to focus a little longer with my clairvoyance.
There we go. Yep. Day old sushi. Glorious? This scavenger hunt's gonna be gross.
Anything about layoffs?
Don't be ridiculous. The Psychonauts keep the world safe. We're indispensable.
This has to lead somewhere good. There's actually a surprisingly elaborate platforming challenge here. In the cafeteria.
I love these things.
With a free level up.
I don't have a key.
Damn it all. End of the line. There's nothing but money in there anyway. What's your deal?
Almost. Want to hear about the day I've had? No? Okay.
Finds me terrifying. Oh, I scared him away from the mouse hole? The mouse hole full of cash. Which I guess he was guarding. Not anymore. My cash
That
now.
person's aura is telling me their perspective on the world is especially worth seeing. With clairvoyance.
It better be. Oh, it's Bacon Man. The man who sees the whole world as bacon. Ford Cruller was fixated on bacon.
I'll tell you that twice.
Maybe this is related somehow.
Hi.
Huh? What'd you do that for?
Because you're obsessed with bacon. And it's mildly disturbing. The inside of my brain is a meat circus.
If there are layoffs, maybe I'll
I
get
don't
some
trust
severance package.
spinning meat. But I guess this is just a joke. Maybe. Probably not plot relevant bacon. Not right now, anyway.
At least tomorrow's payday.
Agents, I'm not an agent anymore.
Intern.
Scanning for fingerprint.
Yeah, they stopped scanning, but it was probably gonna kick me out anyway. What do we have over there? Didn't quite make it. Can't jump high enough anymore. Our time will come.
All new interns, please report to my office for orientation. I don't have all day, new kid.
We'll be running this place soon enough. You will bow before Raz. Yeah, I don't know what you're looking at, but it's useless to me. Oh, you're looking at the top of your own hat.
Attention all interns. If you do not have a mentor yet, please report to my office immediately for assignment.
Been here. Well, I'm officially lost.
Will the new kid, whose name I've already forgotten...
This is a great historical exhibit.
I know. I mean, that's what people are saying. You see something new every time you look.
Fair enough. Are we actually gonna try talking to this dude?
Look at how young Agent Cruller is.
From his psychic salad days when he worked as a park ranger, investigating the strange phenomena of Green Needle Gulch. He set up camp out there and protected it so well with his psychic illusions that to this day, no one can find it.
Whoa!
Alright, I'm sure there's a lot of stories about Ford Cruller here. I'm sure we could spend a long time hearing them. There's the classroom. How did I miss that glowing neon sign?
Agent 33, please
Okay.
report to Agent Forsyth's office.
There's like a fork and I just wasn't paying enough attention.
Hey!
Which fork I was going down.
Experts agree. It's just not safe to use clairvoyance. Without my special clairvoyance enhancing
Got another card. So close to a level up. Useless level up. There it is.
Psycards piling
Let's cash it in.
Turn them into check these new pins, the very latest.
Probably won't help me it out, but let's see.
Come back anytime.
Nice round, rank 5. Doesn't seem to have actually given me anything. Pins, sure.
I need more pins. I
I
need
can-
all the pins.
Unequip them if I want. Raz is a completionist, so he might be here a while. Oh, that's right. This is where we spend our level ups. I have plenty of credits. Yeah, definitely Psy
My
Blast.
Psyblast feels a lot blastier now.
Hell yeah. Couldn't have set it better myself. And an additional blast before having to recharge is probably good. Reveal hidden objects. I mean, clairvoyance reveals them innately. We can make them revealed for longer. That seems unimpressive. Levitation ball will damage enemies if we slam into them. Probably should have bought the pouncy ball for higher jumps.
Feels like I got a little more spring in my levitation.
But I can't afford it now. One more level up. And I'll get that.
Harold,
Super jumps.
What have you found out about the mole? Nothing?
Some more of our bullies.
Did someone say something about pirate radio?
No.
Yes. Morris is doing it, and it's totally against the rules, and he's gonna get kicked out of the Psychonauts.
Lizzie, you're fired.
Dream on.
They bully each other, at least.
Austerity measures, Oleander. Get a hold of yourself, Oleander.
Good luck fighting Maligula without my battle bot, cheapskates.
Hey, I'm with you. Letting him build a battle anything is probably a bad idea.
You've made a powerful enemy, Raz.
Oh, right. New intern. Thought I told you not to be late. Doesn't matter. You need a mentor. Let me see who's left.
Ooh. Am I helping Mia? Or Sasha on a mission?
No. You're in the mailroom. Your mentor is Nick Johnsmith.
Mailroom? Nick?
That guy's got 3 names.
I've never heard of an Agent John Smith.
Nick's not an agent. He's not even psychic. He's just good at sorting mail. You'll love Nick. Everybody does.
The mailroom?
Ford Cruller himself worked in that mailroom. You could learn a lot there. For one thing, how to be on time. Okay, I've given you fingerprint access to the mailroom. Now scoot. I've got a base to run and a budget to balance.
I've got enough credit to upgrade one of my psi powers.
Ow. Free rank up for getting our fingerprint upgraded. And a supply chest to climb to the top of the cafeteria again, if I were so inclined.
Hey! How's your dad?
Terrible! I gotta go get him some therapy plant stats.
How'd you get that hatch open?
Oh, it's got a fingerprint combination. I can teach it to you. Come here. It's more than just a number. You kinda have to feel it. Do you feel it?
Yes.
Good. Tell anybody you got it from me, and you're dead. Bye!
Seems like we are officially broken up with Lily, since we're not even allowed to talk about being in any way close to her, even momentarily. So off to a great start.
Experts agree, it's just not safe to use clairvoyance.
People just
Without my special clairvoyance enhancing pins.
cannot maintain any degree of intimacy with Raz. Knowing him for any amount of time makes you sick of him. Let's buy that jump upgrade, which I keep forgetting how to do. There. Hold square. Do that, and then we jump higher. Glorious. And I didn't do it right. But it's clearly gonna be very powerful.
If there are layoffs, maybe I'll get a sweet severance package.
Let's head over here. Got the right idea. Just bad execution. Also, it's still very fiddly.
Got some new gadgets available.
I don't think that's even the spot where I want to be.
I mean for purchase. They're totally safe. Not available to interns.
This is why I'm against the intern program.
Experts agree.
This upgrade's useless.
Safe to use clairvoyance. Without my
I'm gonna return it.
clairvoyance enhancing pins.
Anything else I can afford? And 1 more point. I can upgrade our melee. Pyrokinesis, burn a larger area. That's actually probably pretty useful. And telekinesis, fling harder. Oh, I don't have the upgrade point, but I will someday soon. Yeah, so far, there is still a charming cast of characters. Things are a lot more clean and sanitized than they were at the camp. Again, subjectively, stuff I don't enjoy quite as much, but still good. Still worth exploring. I'm interested. You got your hooks in me.
Scanning for fingerprint. Access granted.
Excellent. Well, let's keep on interning.